Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Casey. Now, was I looking to come on here with a brand new year, like
easy breezy cover girl? I was hoping.
We've just had a new year, a new president. We got a vaccine. I mean, yes, we are in Los Angeles, which is at peak epidemic right now, and that's a terrifying situation.
Epicenter is a word I keep hearing on the news.
But with everything happening in Georgia and,
Well, what a roller coaster. We're coming to you fresh one day off of the Georgia wins in the morning, which was just absolutely incredible. Transcendent. Thank you, Stacey Abrams et al. And then things took a bit of a turn. And those motherfucking neo-Nazis stormed the Capitol. It's just not something you expect to happen all in one day.
No. I really didn't want. I wanted to start the new year off in our comedic podcast about housewives with
I thought we were going to be like crazy,
easy breezy,
cool. Yeah. Maybe it's Maybelline. I was like, this is all happening for us this year.
And we just can't get our footing, man.
You know what, Danielle? And maybe I have like the wrong view of this, but I'm just like, oh, now everyone sees what a fucking goddamn clown that motherfucker is. And these motherfuckers taking their photos in Nancy Pelosi's office. This motherfucker holding the podium and standing up there at the lectern. The fact that they weren't shot dead is just...
The guy with the buffalo head.
Look no further than what happened yesterday. If you are wondering in your brain what is white privilege, they would have all been
They were opening
killed.
up the doors for them. They were helping them down the stairs. It was... There was a guy in a fucking Camp Auschwitz t-shirt just parading around another guy with a fucking Confederate flag. I mean, I have to tell everybody today is a 2 Lexapro day for me because
it was. I mean, that's the hate that is in this country. That is the match that Donald Trump has lit, and it is on his shoulders. It's on his fucking cronies' motherfucking shoulders. It's so disturbing, and to see that hate is out there.
And we knew it was out there, but we just
hoped for a new day. Of course it was. We were hoping for a new day, even though that's idealistic, and obviously it wasn't going to be a completely new day. Of course not. But oh my God. Well, someone was saying, remember when the police, someone was like taking a selfie? I mean, Can you imagine?
No.
And then I read this tweet. It made me laugh so hard. Okay, it's by Beytwice, Beytwice. Why y'all keep asking where the police at? Y'all ask where Miley's at when Hannah's on stage?
God, it's
that
so
really
true.
got me. There's the fucking hate. White supremacist, neo-Nazi motherfuckers. They're all like, let's a revolution.
So again, this is gallows humor. We are laughing because it is upsetting, but people are getting very creative with these times.
Very creative.
Good to see. So again, this is not the energy we wanted to be coming to Bitch Sesh with in the new year.
I had a whole funny story I was going to tell everyone about a DM exchange I had with a fan. I mean, maybe next week, Danielle.
I know.
But we are going to pick it up after our break. We're going to really pick it up and get into gear because we have such an amazing guest. I do have to tell you... Fucking Vicky Gumbelson's ass is in Puerto Vallarta. I was just like on my Instagram the other night and I see live, Vicky Instagram live. I click on it. What else do I have going on? There she is in a club in Mexico taking shots.
Is she whooping it up at Andale's?
Whooping it up. No, at a fucking club with that neutered husband taking shots. Maskless wonder. Everyone in the club are maskless. When I'm sitting here fucking in Los Angeles, this fucking hellhole of COVID, no vaccines are like making it to California. Obviously, so many people have it worse than me. I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, I don't need to see Vicky's fucking melting candle face partying at a club.
None of
maskless.
Don't go out. And if you are, don't put it on fucking Instagram. Like, I can't.
Instagram Live. She was like, hey, y'all. I literally was like, I'm going to reach through the phone and strangle her dead. A lot of emotions, a lot of feelings.
But otherwise, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
Woo! I wrote up all my resolutions.
I made a vision board.
I did pick a card this morning from that wonderful card case, and I felt I do feel
it's what is it called? Like a deck,
Yes.
an oracle kind of deck.
I have been, again, with Lexapro in my deck, I feel ready to face the world a little bit.
To face anything.
To face anything. Just those two security blankets. Those are helping me get through. And of course, as always, the Real Housewives who help me through every dark day.
Well, I was behind on, my watching. So I had really devoted literally like office hours time yesterday to just go through a bunch of shows. And it was just pathetic watching them on my computer, the news behind me. And of course, they're always holding my hand through the great events.
They really are.
Of human history. And of course, every night I've been having a Manhattan, which is my father and brother's drink.
I was going to say that's such like a middle-aged man drink. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's Paul Wilson's drink and Fletcher Wilson's drink, and it's torn our family apart many times. I can't tell you how many nights have ended in us just screaming at each other because someone has chosen to have two Manhattans. As my dad says, one is okay, two, you destroy your relationships. Well, and that's it. 3, you're like, you've
3.
been arrested.
Well, the thing I have learned to depend on during these times is an old friend called Coca-Cola.
We talked about this. Full fat. Not too many actresses like me to have a Coca-Cola.
No, it's not a Coke Zero, guys.
Don't ask if it's diet or caffeine free. This is the real thing.
This is the real deal. I'm having a Coca goddamn Cola because it's the sweetness, it's the burn. I
had one for the last 4 days every fucking day.
It's just what I
It
need.
picks you up like no other. The crispness, the bubbles,
the sweet.
It's such a hit of joy. I really urge everyone.
It's liquid gold. It's the
get yourself
purest
one.
form of joy that there is known to man is a full fat Coca-Cola.
And when you slap a Santa on that can, woo!
Woo!
When I see Santa, I get just
when I
turned
see that
on.
polar bear egging me on the can.
Mommy.
Woo!
When I see some random person's name on the side of the can.
When I see this Coke is brought to you by Carrie, I'm like, yes!
Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah, that has been your and I's real standby. We really share that in common, that love.
It's the Southern girls in us.
Yeah, I mean, I said this, and this is dark, my mom was a lover of Coke. She would have probably 6 a day. We would hear like at like 2 a.m. And you know what I did with the Coke after she passed? What? I think I told you this, Danielle. This is going to go as dark as we've truly ever gone.
Let's go there.
It's really, really dark. So my mom loved Coke so much. I mean, I've got Coke ornaments at my wedding. I had old-fashioned Coke bottles, would take you to your table. Like Coke plays a much deeper role.
Coke is it.
It is. It plays a deeper role than anyone could possibly imagine in my life. And so as we buried my mother, I thought, let me give her some to take home to the great beyond. And I put a couple cans in the coffin. I put a couple cans in the coffin. No one was the wiser. Yes, Danielle. And then as I watched the coffin being lowered in, I thought, I turned to him and I go, Butch, I put a couple cans of Coke in for Mom. To which he said, they're going to explode all over her bones. And then we drove away.
Can I say?
And they're still in there.
I appreciate those. Those Cokes are going to outlast us all.
Yeah. Ashes to
ashes, Coke to Coke.
Coke to Coke. Oh, you make strange choices in the throes of grief, Danielle. And I stand behind that choice. Honestly, throw one in with me.
I plan to be cremated, but if you could throw one into the fire, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, like I'll douse it. Or, I'll pour one out for you on your ashes.
Pour a Coca-Cola out for me, Casey. Oh. Wow. Well, Casey, should we bring on our guest?
Yeah, let's bring on our guest. I love to you all, and I do hope everyone had a happy holiday and a happy new year. And here's to a brighter tomorrow.
Yes, please. And here's to everybody's
vaccines and
safety and health.
And everybody's safety and health. Absolutely.
Let's bring on our guest. Guys, this guest, she is a light in a dark field. We love this woman. She is such a Bitch Sesh favorite. She might be the Bitch Sesh favorite. She's so knowledgeable. She's so funny. She's so smart.
We've had so many requests to have her back. And the fact that she is joining us after the roller coaster day that was yesterday is incredibly generous. And I'm so happy to see her lift us all the way some of those gentlemen were lifted over the walls of the Capitol.
Oh, Jesus
Sorry.
Christ, Casey.
I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
I mean, it's true. It's just
those clowns.
the symbolism is really tough.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry for that intro. Please welcome the hilarious and gorgeous and lovely Leslie Grossman.
Hi, everyone. It's good to be back. I'm so happy to be with you, ladies, to take my mind off of current events. So this is, and really, let's be honest, to focus on what's really important.
I have had a bunch of people DM me when I can read DMs, when I remember how it all works, that have been like, hey, where are you guys? We are needing a lift today. So I hope that we can bring one to people. And you are always a beacon.
You're right, Leslie, because if anything, the issues yesterday were really taking away from... the amount of the new shows that have cropped up. I mean, we are really at full capacity, full bore here. We're finishing up Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
We are really hitting our stride with Atlanta.
Yeah.
We are, Salt Lake is just getting stranger and stranger.
Yeah.
And then Dallas has rejoined us. So Leslie, can you just situate us here? Where are you with all, before we just dive in, where are you right now with the shows? Which are your favorite? What's happening?
Okay. So I am all caught up on Salt Lake, of course. I watched Potomac, and I do want to say this. And if somebody wants to be a historian and dig back through my tweets, you will find that I was telling y'all in season 1 to not sleep on Potomac, and it was a grower, not a shower. And now I feel like it's really shown everyone. So
now it is a shower.
It is a shower. So of course I watched all of those. I am one behind on Atlanta because I was supposed to watch it last night, and I don't know, I had other things that I was watching.
You think you're watching something else? You're watching the decline of Western civilization.
But I do have to say this. If I've watched every single episode of Atlanta from its inception, I think I'm okay to talk about it.
You are,
this week.
Because nothing. I will say nothing extreme happened. I mean, more than the usual.
Of course, I love Dallas. I love Dallas, and by the way, loved it from the beginning. Loved Dallas from the beginning. So
Seems like you've loved all of them from the beginning.
I have.
Yeah.
You know what? DC. Nope, never liked it.
I'm the only DC lover that there has ever been. Michelle Salahi was a treasure.
No, you're not
that
wrong.
Everybody,
but she's the only thing we had.
You're right. And also, I never really sparked to Miami. Of course, I watched every episode.
I didn't spark to Miami.
Didn't spark to it. And also, I mean, OC, which of course is in my heart, and I have a lot. I don't know if you want to talk about OC today, but I have a lot of emotions and opinions. But we don't. Are we not watching because of Kelly Dodd?
Well, here's the thing. We're not watching Danielle and I, but I don't think that means someone else can't talk about it, Danielle.
Well, but we don't have to get into it. I just want to say that
I'm always welcoming thoughts about Bronwyn.
Well, that's what I was just about to say.
I'm not watching, so please tell me what's happening. I did see her Instagram and say that after everything that's happened, she's now a lesbian. She's now with another woman. She said she would be, quote, heartbroken if her husband started dating
So
anyone.
What I was going to tell you,
really asking a lot out of that necklace-wearing gentleman.
What I was going to tell you is the only thing you really need to know is that in last night's episode, the dysfunction between the two of them is so extreme and so severe. And she is so truly terrible to him. And and then I think of the 7 kids. And so anyway, it's more depressing. Although I got to say, Shane made a real turnaround. He made a real...
Shane?
You're kidding.
Guess what?
Really?
You're just saying
Did he pass the bar? Did he finally pass the fucking bar?
Danielle, he couldn't have done that.
I want to tell you something.
Okay.
Okay.
Shane has become a lovable scamp.
No!
I swear there's
I don't believe it.
There's never been a glow up the likes of which is Shane
I am
on
genuinely
OC.
I cannot imagine what you could be talking about.
Because guess what? These are breadcrumbs.
Okay.
These are breadcrumbs I'm giving you. Also, I want to tell you that Gina's accent has now crossed the Rubicon into something where it's like, I don't know what's going on with Shannon. Like it's no longer any sort of
Are we in a Hilaria territory?
How you say, we're getting into that world. Anyway.
Can I just say the fact that what has gone on in the Capitol and in this country, the fact that has usurped my interest in Hilaria has been...
Danielle and I's interest in Hilaria was through the roof. It can only be described as through the roof, and we participated in a Zoom, a kind of emergency Zoom with a couple gals that it felt very important. I took notes.
Can I just say one thing about the Ilaria thing that was really
Please.
exciting? Was to see the crossover between housewives accounts that became real journalists in that investigation.
Oh, yes.
Like,
I feel housewives, journalists. I mean, Hilaria might as well be a housewife. It's all in the same universe.
Right.
You know, it doesn't. So thank God, because those same journalists really went down the rabbit hole of the Erica Jane. Girardi affair. Like these are the journalists.
And
that
who
we
should
really
have
need
come
to
out of the
find.
closet as she did to spring to for defense of Ilaria, but Dorit.
I mean,
it's
love her. Okay, so we don't have to talk about OC. That's it. Just know
Okay.
that Shane is an imp, and it's very dark with Sean and Bronwyn. Go on.
I can't even.
Okay, wow, thank you. I did need to hear that,
Okay.
and I really thank you for that. Okay, shall we just start with Potomac? We're just going to kind of wrap it up because while we were on break, 2 and 3 of the reunions played, and wow, they spent fucking 12 hours shooting that reunion.
And I wish they had slept there and done another day.
Yeah.
And I could still be watching it right now. I am mourning the loss of Potomac. Just 1 week it's been gone, but I am mourning it like a relative that has passed beyond. I miss it.
Do you know what really struck me about this series of reunions with Potomac is that, the housewives have now been around for a long time. And it's something that I talk about with my friends. Like now, you're never going to see, it's never going to be like when Bethany was like hawking her goods at some market in Paramus, like these people all know exactly what they're getting into. They're already pretty established. They're using it to grow their businesses. It's a little more jaded, but when you least expect it, Monique brings out an annotated notebook, and then it becomes canon. And it's proof to me that there's always a miracle around the corner. There's always something new, just when you think nothing new can be had.
And I think that's really something for us all to take right now. There's always something around the corner. There's always light that can flood in our darkest moments.
There's always a binder around the corner, and that binder could be anything.
Right,
exactly.
There's
But
always
just
a binder of receipts about to take women down. Now, guys, okay, there's so much to discuss, but okay, what do you want to start with, Danielle?
I would just like to say one of my favorite moments of anything ever was when Giselle got called out for not being able to have her, ex-husband there. But the only man that could ever is with her is a bodyguard. And I thought that like that her husband wouldn't come, but or her ex Jamal wasn't there. But
I do love that move. Even like we don't see that often. If someone's just like,
We
I
don't.
brought a bodyguard with me. What's the question here?
That to me reminded me of Jersey. That was some old school Jersey vibes.
Right.
Like I brought a bodyguard.
Mhm.
I have to say also that Karen Huger has really she started off in this whole series a mess and has she was a piece of coal. Now she is a diamond. She is so good at this now.
Just like Shane.
Just like Shane. She's, first of all, she now looks.
Please do not.
Well, she looks flawless now. Like Karen.
Oh, she's never looked better.
Never.
Karen is stunning.
Never looked better. And also just like she can ride both sides of that fence like no one I've ever seen and has the best retorts and has really, like, to me, she's the MVP. She deserves the MPV award, even though it was all about Candace and it was all about Monique. She really, I think, transcended all of them this season.
100%.
No.
And when Ray said, "Let's renew our vows," guys, tears sprang to my eyes.
Oh, I was crying.
They did.
Even though we know how this goes.
yeah.
You cannot renew your vows on reality. It's a kiss of death, and yet
They will be divorced soon.
Yeah, no choice.
I know the ending of West Side Story every time, and still I hope that Tony and Maria live and end up together, and this is the very same thing. I know the ending, and yet I choose not to believe. I choose to believe in love.
Yes, I love it.
Let's talk about Monique and the conspiracy of her personal trainer and whether it was like Chris's son. Like, that was so dark, and yet they brought it on the show. Like, how do we all feel about that?
I don't know, because when I saw the clip, so, for anyone that doesn't know, apparently Big Boy thinks that there was a big conspiracy by the women, a plot. to kind of make it known that, Monique had sex with her trainer and that their newest baby is a product of the trainer. And then we showed a clip where Giselle goes over and Chris says, "Doesn't he look just like me?" And Giselle took and kind of ran with that comment that she thought he was almost like saying something before anyone else could. Do you guys believe that?
He did seem to be being like, hey, Giselle, like, you think you're so great. Doesn't he look just like me? Sort of like playing it as a joke, but sort of like a nasty jab at her.
Is that because Giselle has said in the past that she's getting done by her trainer?
That was I don't know the chicken or the egg,
right.
Like I don't know what came first, but it didn't really spring into action, become a thing to me until the reunion.
It wasn't. It was almost entirely off camera. And I do have to say that, in life, there are things that are hot goss and things that are actual life stuff. And I just don't think you go near children. I just don't think you ever go near children, because that's a child who can grow up and watch this. And so I would never, because I care more about children than adults, because they're like innocent bystanders. So I found the whole thing like, I really, because it's hard, because I like Giselle. I think she's really watchable. I think she's so great for the show. I think she's stunningly gorgeous and can be a lot of fun. But when it gets into stuff like that, I was like, I don't like this. Like, you can't say shit about people's babies. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I know it's not a funny take.
No, and Danielle and I have been guilty of that ourselves, and we've really tried to curb that. And that's our resolution for 2021. Just staying away from the kids. But I felt certainly understood why he was so upset. And when he was crying, I don't know. I mean, I know he did threaten to hurt them physically, but I have a soft spot for him. I'm going to say it.
What do we think about Candace's husband, Chris, and when he was like, no fear of getting into it with Big Boy?
They have a nice relationship.
Well, they're also good friends and hugged at the end. They have lovely, like, relationship that I wish I could have, which is like you fight and you scream. And then at the end, they're like, we love each other. We're still friends. Let the women.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. I actually thought that was kind of weirdly beautiful.
I think here's one thing I will say about Chris and Monique, though. They have problems besides this. And this is not a funny take either, but they have issues. And I do think that this issue has brought them together and like, oh, we can gang up. We'll be together on this. And it's us against the world. And that's good for them. But they still have so many bigger issues that in the relationship, like Monique has some real anger towards him.
Oh, yeah.
And so I worry about the relationship that like this is just like a salve right now. It's like us against the world. Like we showed them. But they have bigger problems.
And don't you feel like Monique and her husband, like, they're a team? Like, he has her back. She's into it. I mean, look, I don't know what's going on with that trainer. Who knows?
I know. I hate when, and I have friends that do it. And I'm sorry to you all, anyone listening. I fucking hate when people are like, we're a team. Makes me physically sick. It's just like, okay, what do you want me to say to that? Like,
good for you.
Like, they're so proud. They're like, my husband's got my back. I'm like, well, mine doesn't. He never has. I don't know.
Never.
My husband, I told you.
Under the bus.
He's always like, what did you do? But I don't know, just something about that phrase. And I do feel like they really pride themselves on that, like you're saying, Leslie. But it did kind of make me, I don't know, maybe I'm too like sentimental. But when he said to her, like, I release you of this, like, let's move on from this. I thought that was kind of nice. No?
I did too.
Okay.
What do we feel about... Well, I feel like they have bigger problems. Like, I feel like she's not happy in that marriage because she wants more and he wants her to stay at home and not be a working wife. Like, I think, and they haven't decided what their relationship is and what they want their marriage to be now that they have 3 kids. And they need to get to that because I think there's resentment building on both sides. But that's just
Do you think she had sex with the trainer?
I don't.
Or Leslie,
I don't.
That? Okay, Leslie, don't answer that. She doesn't want to answer that. Okay. Sorry.
Look, I forgot.
How soon I forget?
I know that she filmed a hot music video called Drag Queen.
Yes, she did.
And that is very important. And she is now she's happy to not be in the next season so she can focus on her singing career as one should.
Oh, that was the best when Andy was like, but can't you see how this looks like to Candace? You don't think those lyrics? And he was like, you wouldn't be mad if she did that. And she's like, if someone wants to express themselves creatively, I would never be mad.
Amazing. Amazing.
And Candace will come back with another track,
Yeah.
I believe, because Candace is the quote-unquote singer of the group.
Uh-huh.
Everybody needs one. Every group has one.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a track soon from Candace. I don't doubt
Pretty
that.
excited.
And we'll see how Moni reacts
Now,
if she stands
was
by her
Michael
word.
not there because of legal reasons, or he wouldn't?
You guys. I am so concerned for Ashley Darby. I mean, he is, and this is, and their thing is, and it is very bad. And he is overtly cheating on her. And it's like very upsetting. And then her so pregnant. And when they are at that party, at that last party, and she's just like, Michael Darby. And I was like, this is bad. Here's what I don't understand. What's the good part about being married to him? Like,
I do not
there's
know.
no good part. Where's the good
No.
part?
I guess someone could think it was the money, but there's no amount of money that would make you want to be in a marriage where everyone in America hates your husband.
And I don't think there's that much money. He
No.
had like a bar in DC and it
Yeah.
closed down. Like, how much could there be?
And she's so beautiful. She could
so-
have someone wonderful. I do believe that.
Hold on, Danielle. You don't think there's a lot of money in an Aussie bar? You don't think there's like a credible amount of money in there? That's,
And
I don't know what you're
again,
talking about.
I don't know the culture. I worked in a seafood restaurant for years, so what do I know?
And he has that like grand office. It's just so pathetic.
Ugh, it's very upsetting. And
And his 80s apartment, like it's very like it feels like sort of a glass and like.
Did you guys see
bubble.
Wonder Woman?
I did.
Okay, he struck me as the Pedro Pascal character in the beginning, who's just like, "Where's my papers?" and like just running pyramid schemes and just a
Oh
mess.
my God. That's very funny, Casey. Thank you for saying
Leslie.
that. Thank you. God, that's
I
funny.
just love Ashley is so fine to take it for Michael.
Mm.
She's just like everyone's fucking putting him down, and she's like,
For that guy.
The way she just eats it
Mm.
is like she's used to, like, I guess you get immune to things if they happen enough, and here she is just like, yes,
I
yes,
could
that
have
is
watched
true.
Robin saying, what's her husband's last name? What?
Dixon.
Dixon.
Juan
I could,
Dixon.
Robin Dixon. How could I forget that? I could hear her be like, that
Yes.
you are lucky that Juan Dixon is not here. And I could have heard that over and over again.
Danielle, do you want to just quickly share your update concerning Robin Dixon?
Yes,
Oh,
guys.
yes. Okay. I want to hear this.
Now,
Mhm.
some people might not have been at the live show, so maybe you should just quickly back up and explain the letters
should
you've
just-
received.
Real quick, I received no less than 7 communications from embellished hacks upon my ordering them.
Over the course of 6 to 8 weeks.
Over the course of 6 to 8 weeks. I ordered them, and I want to say late October, early November, and kept receiving different types of emails saying it's on its way. Okay, it's not, but it's the fault of the post office. Okay, it's on its way.
But
Okay,
COVID,
it's not.
And then, like, I
There's
don't have
COVID.
the inventory, and then I'm so sorry. And then, like, she gave you a strange choice. She's like, listen, I don't have them for Christmas. However, if you really need it for Christmas, email me.
I'll get it to you by Christmas. And I was like, I really need it for Christmas. And they were like, okay, it's on its way. And I was like, great. And then I received an email that's like, it's coming. It's on its way to you. We've sent it.
And then they gave you the tracking number.
And then they give you a tracking number. And I pressed
my
the
God.
tracking number. It's like, is not something you can track.
It was like, it's untrackable.
Untrackable. It's like a bird is flying through the air with it, and it's just gonna drop it wherever, and then we'll pick it up. Like, there is no way that you're gonna track this. And so I wait, and from that email, I waited 2 weeks. Like, someone's boyfriend drove it across country, and their car broke down or something. Like, I do not know what happened. And then I get an email that's like, it is on its way.
Like, for
To
real. Yeah.
For real. Like, we're not
Oh
kidding.
my
And
God.
then I got another email. It's like, it is being delivered today. And this was a Sunday.
Oh my God. Of course.
And then
So I was like, what? Guys, it's at my house
my
now.
God.
I have not opened it because I want to open it in front of everybody. And so I will be doing that. But 2 beautiful hats that took just all the effort in the fucking world
Wow.
to get to me.
well, Robin, I mean, that's Robin, just never on time.
Yeah. But
And that's okay.
I'm excited to hear your review of it because I like that feature that there's silk on the inside so it doesn't
Yes.
mess with your hair.
I like that too because my hair my hair is a mess. So
How much was each hat, Danielle? Let's just guess. Was
I
it like
wanna say-
$24?
No,
36?
it was more. I want to
36?
yeah, It was like I think I spent about with shipping and handling.
And there was a lot of handling.
There was a lot of shipping and way too much handling.
Yeah.
I want to say overall, I think I spent about $65 to $70 on 2 hats.
Because I think 50 is too high of a price point, and she's going to make more than 24, 25 a hat.
Yes.
So 36
Yeah.
seems just about right.
Absolutely.
I think it was, but again, I have to go back and check my records.
Okay.
Because
your ledger.
check my financials. But I do think I spent about 70 in all, 75 for 2 hats.
I'm so excited.
The last thing I want to touch on is Candace. So what was Chris saying in the end that she has just not been the same for the last year due to this particular incident?
I think she's undergone traumatic emotional stress. And Candace seems, well, first of all, she's a real crier. I mean, she's a real crier.
And
in
a
way.
dabber. And a dabber.
And a dabber, but like sticking the knife's edge
Well,
of a napkin.
Well, hold on. We've talked about this before with Kyle. Okay, going to Beverly Hills. There's no one who's more of an intense eye dabber than Kyle, where she will take a napkin, wrap it 6 to 7 times around the finger, and then directly into the tear duct of both eyes. Directly.
Okay,
And
Kim Kardashian is up. The Kardashians and Kourtney and Kim are up to that too. It's
Yeah.
like their first fucking thought is the makeup.
Correct. So
But I'm always like, right in the duct? It just feels like a tender area we should not be touching
I agree.
with any object.
Yeah.
It's not,
Candace is a sharp corner right into the cornea. But she
terrifying.
this has really, and I think what they were saying is it had been about a year, right? By the time this reunion rolled around, this has been hanging
She said
over.
over 365 days, and she's still not received an apology. Go on.
Well, sometimes forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. And I think it's time for Candace to stop expecting. She's never going to get that closure she wants.
No.
She's never going to get that apology in the way that she wants it. And she needs to understand it has nothing to do with Monique. It has to do with her. And she's going to have to figure out how to do that for herself.
Wow.
Those are my feelings on this
Wow.
subject.
That's beautiful. And after all that, I felt like this friendship it's not a friendship. They've threatened, they've had legal action against each other. And then Andy's like, do you think there's any chance you guys could be friends? And they were like, well, yeah. They were like, the door is open. And I'd certainly like that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not.
If Leanne Rhymes and Brandy Glanville can
come
settle,
together.
like anything is
But see,
possible,
that
I
to me
believe.
feels so desperate. Brandy just knows that everybody's like so in love with this idea that when we divorce and break up, that we should all need to have such physical closeness and it should be so fine. It's like sometimes it's okay for it to not be fine. You don't have to do a photo shoot with your, woman that cheated with your husband that they're now with, and Brandy just knows she's going to get publicity.
Can we please pin this for when we talk about Salt Lake?
I say let's
Ooh,
take a break
okay.
and get right into Salt Lake.
Let's go
All
right
right.
into Salt Lake.
Although
Okay.
last thing I did like the way they all danced off together. That was
I love
amazing.
when they were doing and Wendy. Do you have thoughts about Wendy? Because I love her. I feel like she really redeemed herself in the reunions, and I like not the redeemed, but she just didn't give us much about the season. But then in the reunions, she came alive, and the last episode
Right.
she came alive.
Well,
and
I wanted
loved
to know
her.
what you thought of her freshman year. And I agree with you where it started off a little bit slow. I just love her husband so much. So I'm
me
here
too.
for him. And his story breaks my heart with his family. And so I need him to have this family. And she's very accomplished and she's very, very smart. And I think that she needed to warm up. And I think that next season will be when she really, really shines. I think we have a lot of very good potential with the doctor.
I will not
Okay.
miss the doctor if she goes.
Damn.
I just think she's too normal. She's
Yeah.
too together. I'm like, okay, she brought a little something, but I just don't know what more she's going to give us because she has her eye on her reputation. And
Yeah.
And she can also have hot takes. I
You're right,
think,
you're right.
Which sometimes are good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just find her very healthy, and that's not how I like my housewives.
Yeah, well, that's not
That's
what
a-
we look for.
You
not
know,
why I'm here. For growth. No, thank you.
that is
No.
that is actually the most salient point of this whole experience. You're correct.
Yeah, I've said to you, Danielle, and you don't like when I say this, but I want them circling the drain of a 12-step program. Look, I've been in them
Well-
myself. There's no shame. But I don't want them
There's
in
no
it.
shame.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be. They should need it, but not be
Evading.
in it.
Evading. Yeah. Okay. Should we take a break and let's do Salt Lake? We're back. Leslie, hit us with Salt Lake.
Okay, so this is what I was saying to this to you guys earlier. I cannot remember everyone's names. I certainly remember Mary.
That's okay.
I know Jen Shaw. She what is it? She's shabulous. She's shawbulous.
Yes, Shaw. Yeah, she had a lot of. I was like, oh, Jen Shaw, trying to make these words. Shamazing.
Shamazing. That's what it was.
Shaw.com or something? Or
Shaw.com.
Shabam.com?
Yeah, Shaw.com.
Okay, in general, I want to say that my feelings for Heather Gay are so intense and so extreme and so deep. And maybe it's because, you know, I am a newly and recently divorced person. So maybe I'm over-identifying with her. But I worry that she's too normal for this show because she seems like an actual person. First of all, her daughters are lovely and the relationship she has with them seems beautiful. Really beautiful and wonderful. And that scene with them 2 weeks ago where she is talking to them and they're like, we love you. I was like, I cried. Okay. I cried. I love when they went snowmobiling and she was like, I'm one. I am alone on this ride and having a great time. And I also like how in this, like, she doesn't like to talk about people's marriages. Like she's just, I love her total and complete honesty.
But she's good for this show because she's a lot of fun.
Yes, that's true.
So I don't think she's worried about her reputation as other people might be. Like, I just feel like she is normal, but she's also up for anything and she's willing to put it all out there.
Yes. When she took that guy home in 5 seconds flat at the party, I loved that.
The best.
She needs her sliders. She needs her meatballs. I love
She's got
her.
game.
Yes, I feel the exact same, Leslie. I cry. I'm so rooting for her. I feel like
rooting
she is
for her.
us. Like, this is us.
Did you
I love
see
her.
What happened before the show started airing? Somebody made a comment on her Instagram about her looking like a trans woman, but it was said in the pejorative. It wasn't like a genuine question. It was like somebody was being mean and nasty and saying something like trying to insult her by inferring that she looked like a trans woman. And her response, and I don't have it in front of me, and I wish I did, was so eloquent and lovely. And was like, no, I'm not. And if I was, I'd be a very out and loud, proud member of the trans community, which I hold dear. Like, it was just such a lovely response. And I was like, oh, she's good. Like, she's a good one.
And also, when that dud of an ex.
Oh, what a nothing. What a nothing.
What a nothing.
To make
a zero.
her feel bad. What a
zero.
Nothing.
It was like a bad Steve Buscemi character. I was like it's when he plays like boring but like awkward. You know what I mean? Like
thin.
Yeah, and
little
just
thin
so,
dick.
Like, and when I found out that he left, what was the movie he left? Because he was Scary Movie 3 with a glory hole. I was like, this man is a dud, and you are so glad you are no longer with him, Heather, because he is not worthy of this queen.
And I think it's so interesting, too, to hear the terrible burden that she's under being divorced and coming from that Mormon church and how it's really destroyed her and racked. Like, it's devastating to hear that. And I'm so sorry for her. And I think her going on the show, because I've noticed many times over many seasons over the years, I think so many women go on that show to get out of their marriages. Like, their marriages are in like the death throes, and they get on as a way to transition out of their marriages. Yes. And this to her, I think, is this great healing experience of being like, I'm going to reclaim myself. I'm going to step outside of this bubble and show the world who I am. I love her. Anyway, so that's that on that about her.
I totally agree. I absolutely love her. I think she's so wonderful. I can't say enough. I tell my husband, I did a monologue about her in the car today. I was like, there is the most captivating woman. I said captivating. And she's so strong. Yeah. Genuinely, like, her story is, you know, friends, when she said friends wouldn't bring their kids over to play.
Oh, I mean, broke my heart. And also, guess what? She's an athlete.
Oh, she is. She can ride a horse. She can ride a snowmobile. She can ski like a motherfucker. Yeah. Like, when I saw her on that snowmobile, I was like, we should all be her. Love. Like, we would all be so lucky as to be as.
And I want to go to her business, Beauty Lab.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it looks great. I want to go in there and fucking say, give me the works. Here's my credit card.
Exactly. So thank God for her. We love her. She's my front runner.
And what I love about her, you know, like when we're on a show, they have like some go-to sets that, you know, you're always going to be in the bar. You're going to be in. I love that her business is a set. It's like we've normally gone to the dermatologist's office and maybe a friend will sit there. But I love that it's like she's running this kind of empire, making no bones about it. Like, women want to look great. And there she is, just like, I'll pop by the room. And I just love it. It feels so good having scenes there.
I would like to hang out there.
Yes.
I would like to hang out at the beauty bar.
So what's her? Okay, don't get mad at me. I don't know all their names. The very beautiful tiny one with the dad.
You never know anybody's
with
name.
the alcoholic father, Whitney. Okay,
Rose.
Whitney.
So first of all, the reason I said to pin that from the last segment we were talking about was how her in-laws would not take down the picture of her husband and his ex-wife and their marriage picture after 7 years, put hers up, but then put the ex-wife's marriage picture up too.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, she's a hero. The restraint that she has shown with her father and the boundaries that she puts up with her dad, I deeply, deeply admire. But we can just jump to the last scene where she made a poo-poo and a diarrhea and a misstep that was so bad at Jen Shaw's party.
I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anyone just keeps like, it's when you step in shit and then instead of being like, oh, I stepped in shit, she just was like, I'm gonna step in more shit.
And then I'm going to sit in it and scooch my tush in the, it was just.
And be like, oh, why do I smell like shit?
And track it around this golf party. It was a disaster.
I mean, we don't have to jump. I mean, look, there's a lot to cover. There's
no,
Mary.
this is where we need to be.
We are where we are.
Guys, truly, what was she thinking during it then? It's like, it was, okay, yes, the show, we all like to stir the pot and do our things, but like, it was a really expensive, nice party for Sharif.
Well, also the fact that she was so uncommunicative and had no ability to even get the words out and was just like, and you know how I'm authentic. And you know how I have to say what I think.
And then she had a speech. She had a speech prepared, but then she had to like start again.
And then Heather Gay was like, Whitney, like just really trying to keep her. And Jen Shaw's reaction was, it was fantastic. It was beautiful.
It felt like, and this is an old reference and no one's going to know what I'm talking about. So, and I'm 100 years old, but it felt like Sam Kinison.
Uh-huh.
He's just like, what are you saying?
It was great. It was great. We didn't get enough of the hip hop party. And I loved Whitney for truly, it was the single word. It would be like if you were at like the funeral of someone's parent and you were like, can I just steal you for a second and tell you that people are having issues with you? Like it was
don't
just
like you.
Spectacularly poorly timed. So
and you're right.
That.
The way that Jen went to 10. See this now, Jen, I think she's annoying. Like I know she's being very performative, but that is fucking real. The way she went to a 10 and then took that glass, didn't even look to see if she was going to throw it in someone's face. I watched her. She just whipped it. And the best is that I thought Whitney was going to approach this like this. You know, Mary's feeling like we're all jumping to your defense. And so I just want to say, like, I really do love Mary too. She's like, I've had a conversation with Mary. Here's what she said about Lisa and Meredith. It was like nothing to do with sticking up with her friend. Not one piece of it.
Also, we're in a new world of people leaving their own parties.
Yes.
This is the new...
She's now left twice.
World because Jen is left twice, and then we had Karen leaving.
Yes.
Like I don't know that we've seen a lot of leaving of our own parties. We've had people tell people to leave their parties in their houses, but to leave your own.
And she went home with her son. Is that right? With Omar, and then Sharif stayed at the party.
Yes.
All I was
Sharif
thinking about is like, I
the party.
really love her husband, and I'm like, can he just enjoy this party?
Doesn't get a day off.
We've already seen that she's on thin ice with him. That was a real peek behind the curtain because I kind of thought they were, doing a bit better than this when she was like, the family made me go on antidepressants and he's never home. Now, many, many, many listeners have DM'd me to set me straight. And they wanted me to know they sent their own husbands. A lot of you all, congratulations, by the way, because I love this, are married to basketball coaches, soccer coaches. Yes. And particularly exact same job as Sharif, a few of you. And you said, look, the schedule is real.
Yeah. He's never home.
It's not that he's avoiding her. And I appreciate hearing that. And I stand corrected.
And they're like, it's off season, it's on season.
It's
like
every season. So thank you for that.
So we apologize because I know Casey and I, who know nothing of sports, we're like,
we had insinuated that was he really gone this much? I did think it was a bit much that he missed the father's funeral, but that felt like a lot.
I'd like to talk about Mary because
I was going to say, I'm so happy. Okay.
Because when she was not on the snowmobile adventure, I was like, what am I here? If Mary's not here, why am I here? Is kind of a little bit how I felt. But to see.
Why have they siloed Mary?
Well, Jen has siloed her. To watch her walking around her house, like amongst the clothes, like some sort of weird glass menagerie.
Yes, I was going to say it's a Mary Amanda-esque.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing with Mary. First of all, I think okay, I'm just going to say it. She seems very pilled out to me. She seems very pilled out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a real thing. I
That's a real diagnosis.
And I don't want to bring the room down, but I feel like there's some trauma there. There is some trauma. I think that this is a very strange childhood. I think being bequeathed by your grandmother and that a dead woman is controlling your entire life and existence. And last night we learned about all of the homes that are not rented.
Yep.
They just sit empty.
That was wild.
Wild.
We had also talked about her trauma on other podcasts. Like, we felt for her. And I got a lot of, I want to say, viewer mail.
Mm-hmm.
In the
That's
mailbag?
what we're calling it. That's like, no, she is the brains in this operation. Don't feel bad for her. Like, they did that. Like, and I don't know where I stand, but I can't help but feel sad for this situation. I can't help. She's such a
broken.
I don't know.
A broken toy
you
then
know?
leading the masses, who probably is also incredibly smart and manipulative. Like, there's it's really dark what's going on, but also I have a soft spot, as I've said.
Did you hear the recording of her berating her parishioners?
Yes.
We
I
talked
did.
about this. Did we talk about this already? I don't want to bring it up if you have.
So I actually never listened to it, and maybe that's why I'm holding on to my soft spot for her.
It's not great. It's her yelling
Okay.
that they're cheap and that they have not spent enough on her.
Uh-oh.
And also, you know, I think it's not great, Casey. It's not a great look. And also,
the
like,
soft spot is fading. It's
when you're the
fading.
leader of like a religious congregation, and it's literally like, this is my Balenciaga boot with my Gucci pant, with my Chanel jacket, with my, you know, it's first of all, don't wear them all at the same time. Don't wear them all at the same time.
And even when she's going through the rooms and like there's all, I was like, if I were a parishioner giving my hard-earned money every week and I would just see these rooms of like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of clothes and purses, I think I would be
right, but it's a
angry.
It's a cult. It's adjacent to a cult.
Yeah, that is true.
And Whitney was right. She's a luxury hoarder. That really made me laugh. But the thing about the clothes to me is it's so like from her trauma. Like, the clothes are in armor. It's not about, do I look good? Am I matching this right? It's like, this is my armor. If I have a name brand head to fucking toe, like, I'm something. And that part makes me sad.
She's a little off. It's kind of like, remember when you were, you think, like, remember when you were a kid and you had like a cassette player that, hi guys, this is your grandmother. I was born in 1812, but they're, you know, like when you would have like a cassette player and the batteries would start to wear down. And so your tape would start to play at not the right speed. When she talks, it's like, are you going to get that?
Yeah.
There's something.
Yes. It's like the sync is off or something.
Yes, exactly.
That to me, you're right. That's pills.
I think it's pills.
But then she is kind of all there and she's like, my grandmother left me everything, including my grandfather. Like, she's like, she said that. She said those words.
She also had another line that killed me this week where she said, when Whitney was like, should I take my shoes off? And she's like, you know, if you come into my home, you have to wear the booties. And she's like, people don't realize shoes are dirty.
The relationship with the housekeeper is it's something else. And it's very intense. Her cousin. Which, she addressed on Watch What Happens Live last night. She addressed it.
Oh, she did? I didn't
see that. And by the way,
what did she say?
Just as bizarre on Watch What Happens Live.
Okay.
And she was with Emily from OC. And, you know, Emily is very sharp. Emily is an attorney and she's very sharp and can move like this.
What a pairing.
It was interesting. It was very strange. And Mary, again, was at a half sync. But she was like, I feel that has not been portrayed appropriately. And that she's actually, I am dear friends with her, and that wasn't appropriately.
But she's never asked her a question about. She's like, I don't ask her any questions. I know nothing about her life, but we are very close.
And I also like when she was giving her instructions, not to miss a spot last night on the floor, not to miss the spot.
You know, Jessica Chaffin on our live show, she had an amazing insight as Rana from her character, but she said that what she wants everyone to be watching out for when you're in Mary's home is her tray, her breakfast tray.
Oh.
She has a tray with powders and it's just so. And the housekeepers brought it in. And then the husband was like, don't worry, I've got your tray. And she's like, where's my tray? And I hadn't really picked up on the tray, but she's like, this tray is very important. There's an order to it.
She talked about her tray yesterday. She talked about it last night.
There's a lot going on with the tray.
Yeah.
I forgot about the tray. I should have. You know what? I still have it on my DVR. I'm going to go back.
Go back and look at the tray. Why is Whitney's face so dewy? It's slick. It's slick.
You're not wrong. She's lit from within. There's
Yeah.
a lot of do. There's a strong do. I was into that friend.
Well, that friend came out guns a-blazing in like, the
God.
first episode. Like,
Her cutting the apple.
Yeah.
Too.
And then...
Oops.
And then we haven't seen her for a few weeks, and now she comes back and she's cutting an apple, and she's
Should've-
It took 15 minutes.
struggled. with that.
15 minutes.
Struggled.
Then she's like, should I put
Mightily.
some pecans on
Amazing.
the tray?
I was like, what?
When she then thought she was telling us a beautiful detail about her generosity, when she was like, sorry, there's a mat under the sink because I put it out for my maids so they're comfy when they do the dishes. I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, what a hero.
Mm.
She is a troubled.
Those houses,
Mm.
something about the Salt Lake houses, the coldness. It reminds me of OC and like
Yes.
put up in 2 minutes flat.
I mean, that thing is a paint by number.
And like beautiful, like in Los Angeles, I couldn't afford any of that. Like it like sort of pretty, but like terribly made. Like they're just
Well, it's that modern farmhouse that kind of became a thing in
Mhm.
2018 and is already on its way out. And it's good.
Yep.
Like, when you're driving in those houses, you're like, oh, that was built in 1976. That was built in 1987. That house is so 90s. Those modern farmhouses are going to be the single most dated. You're going to be like, that was built during the Trump administration. That's it. It was built in the 4
Mhm.
years during that and then never again.
And the same with gals our age doing like a pink streak in their hair.
Oh.
And like pink. It's like, oh, that was the quarantine and you wanted to seem funky and fun. And
Yeah,
we'll know it.
That's tough for me. Wait, who just joined the pink hair trend? Who was it? Because I know Kelly Ripa joined it, and then someone else just joined it. She's joined the
I
pink.
think Chrissy Teigen, the
I
purple
think-
hair too, and the blue hair.
Mhm.
I mean, look, I want it. I just don't have the confidence. Okay, I just want to quickly say Mary, and maybe it's, of course, because, she's married to her grandfather, but the chemistry between her and her son also feels a little too close for comfort.
I don't like it. I don't like it, and I feel it, and I know what you're talking about. And
It's
when
very
she didn't like him,
comfy.
well, she's also like got her back up about him buying presents for his girlfriend.
buying this Prada purse with her money, like that whole thing.
That'll be
It
great
was-
for whoever her son marries. That'll be great, and a really healthy
Yeah.
and excellent mother-in-law.
When
daughter.
you marry your grandfather,
yeah,
your
father-in-law
child with him is
slash-
good.
Great grandfather.
It's all-
whoa.
None of it's
Whoa. Wait a minute. I never, ever took it to the next step. Her son's dad is his dad and his grandpa?
And his great grandpa.
His great.
I got lost.
But wait, it's because it's his, well, no, it was
It's
his
his father.
grandma's, but it was
Yes.
his grandma's husband.
It
So-
was her
No, it's
grandma's husband.
her grandma's husband. So it's his great.
Yeah. It's
grandma's
her grandpa. She married her
husband.
grandpa.
But so the son, I'm sorry, the son, wait,
Okay.
the son, it's the son's father and great grandpa.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
That is fucking chic.
Now,
and
what
good
did you-
for them.
Good, for,
for
them.
them.
And the son is holding his head quite high, and I admire
Quite
the fuck out
high.
of him. He, to me, seems quite normal and well-adjusted, given his circumstances.
Mm.
I think Jen Shaw's husband,
Oh, yeah.
sons are
Love.
lovely.
Sharif.
lovely.
Or Sharif. Is it Sharif Jr.? Is there a Sharif Jr.? Am I wrong? Am I
think
correct?
so, and an Omar.
Yeah, they're cute.
I'm
they're very, cute.
into the older one.
I mean, they were like just taking care of their mother during that. Like
Yeah, they're
and when
sweet.
one of them was sick, she was like, do you want me to lie in bed with you? And he was like, no. And I was like, that's right.
That's gonna be my
This
kid,
is not.
too.
This is how. Even though I would be the same way
Yeah.
with my child.
I mean, do we want to talk about Meredith Marks and her son? Is that something we want
Yes.
to talk about?
I'm going
Oh,
to
of
say the
course.
same with Erica Jane. Give me more fucking details or get the fuck out.
Agreed.
You're fucking someone, and that's fine. We support you. You've initiated this. You've had something with someone. Tell us.
I'm very, very into her son because I'm genetically programmed for that to happen to me. Like
Mm.
he just lights up all the dopamine centers in my brain. I like everything about him. I like his personalized tracksuits with the name down.
But do you think we've been discussing Brooks Marks in our discussions lately, and
I
he's
don't
had
care
a
for
sharp
Brooks.
rise and a sharper fall. And it's
Well, it did make me laugh when Jen said, hopefully he makes a second tracksuit. Because he's only basically, it looks kind of like an Adidas tracksuit. Like,
I
yeah.
want the tracksuit. I will say I would like the tracksuit,
yes.
But the way that he keeps talking to his dad about like not being that, like,
Yeah.
all right, give it a rest, Brooks.
I'd be like, sweetie, my parents worked a ton. Like, you can't imagine what was missed. Like, it's
My
calm
parents weren't there for
down.
anything.
I just did like him being like any affection they show where he's like, you are disgusting. Like, I want to hear that over and over again. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's for me. I'm sorry.
No, and I totally respect that. I think because I have a girlfriend whose husband knows, what's the husband's name? Oh my God.
Seth.
She knows
He feels
that.
very close to my world. Like, I'm like, I know Seth. I know he's a nice guy. I do think separately, and this has never been said to me, I think he's drinking too much wine. He's always red-faced and slurring. But Seth feels to me like a friend or something, and I'm just like watching him putting himself out for this cold, cold woman over and over again. And I kind of want to be like, Seth, pack your bags, find a great woman. Let's move on. She doesn't care for you anymore.
Agreed.
But that they're back together, though. Haven't you heard the word on the street?
I have.
Let's hope it sticks.
She was in Boca. Over the holidays. I didn't go there to see my family.
Oh, you didn't
But
travel in the
Meredith
middle
Marks.
of the pandemic?
No, I fucking haven't left my goddamn house.
Well, and we live in the fucking rotted out pit of
We're
the
in the
earth.
goddamn epicenter.
And I still didn't leave.
We literally live in a rotted out pit of the earth. Jesus Christ.
Well, we
It's
do.
great.
But Meredith Marks made her way to Boca.
What about Lisa? And then we can move on. But what about Lisa with the goal boards, the boards with her kids? I was like, this is either genius parenting or super weird. I don't know which.
Well, I just remember when my daughter was in preschool, there was a mom who made her daughter keep a gratitude journal, a preschooler. And I just leave them alone. Why do we have to talk about goals so much? Just go be a child, okay? You could talk about it with them later. I have like my back gets up when that happens.
Leslie.
Yeah.
I have one with my
What?
son.
You have a goal board?
A gratitude journal. Okay, let me explain. A girlfriend gave me a book that it's a book.
wow.
And
This
you
is-
just keep it next to the bed and you can write one thing. And we've written about 5 over the last year.
Okay.
And I thought it does make me feel happier. And so during the quarantine, I found it and dusted it off and thought maybe this is something. And literally, it's the same thing every day. He's like, it's not helping. He thinks it's annoying. It doesn't doing anything for us. So I'm
By the
taking
way-
your viewpoint and realizing I've gone too far.
Every article on planet Earth tells every mother to do this with their child. And by the way, I'm probably wrong.
No,
And
you're
I'm
right.
sure-
And I hear it. And thank you. Let him be a kid. I'm like, now, what are you grateful for?
I don't mind gratitude. What I have a problem is when her husband, and I can't remember his name to save
What
my
do you
life.
see? This is
But
what I'm
when-
saying. It doesn't matter.
Well, he doesn't matter. He's nothing. But when he was like, we need to spend more time with our kids. And she's like, you're right. We should start a business with them.
She's like, we got to bring him into the business.
I was like, why is spending more time like creating like a man's body wash?
Pretty incredible. Also, when she said it is work first, then
kids.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Because that's
Wow.
an intense thing to admit publicly. And also,
That's why I kind of like her because I don't agree with that. But I was like, okay, Lisa. Like, and they were both like nodding. He was just like, as it's always been with us, work, kids, then us. I was like, wow. Wow.
But I like that she's not afraid to say like, I love my work. Like, mommy loves her work. Why should I be ashamed?
Of course, Danielle,
And-
but she's
and-
saying, I love it more than
Oh,
you
no,
guys.
I'm not. Yes, no, she's saying she loves it more than
It's
her
not
kids.
great.
That's
First,
a
in
tough
her
thing.
gratitude journal, it is first.
It is
not
not-
second.
And also, but in a way, it's really helpful because all her children need to do is bring that one clip to their therapist in 10 years and just play that and just go, that's it. And the therapist is like, thank you. Like, when you start with a new therapist, there's so much to download. All they're going to have to do is bring a little
One
clip of
clip.
that and they're all good. They're all filled in.
Voice memo.
Yep. All good.
It was really tough.
Yeah.
But I also think she really loves them. And I'm going to leave it. It really made me
Yes,
laugh when
she
she
does
was like,
love them,
can I
yes.
fix you a snack? And her son was like, no, I'm not in the mood for a microwaved hot dog right now.
He was dragging her. Dragging.
Yeah.
He dragged her beautifully, and I loved it. All their houses, except for Mary's, are empty.
Empty.
Inside. There's not a picture. There's not
Nothing.
a doodad. There's not a sock on the floor. Like, I've never seen such cavernous houses in my life.
Agreed.
Agreed.
So strange.
Guys, should we take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll do Atlanta quick because we're getting to the end here.
We're getting to the end.
Okay. We're back. Atlanta.
Now, Leslie, I know you said you didn't see the most recent episode. The one thing I will tell you that you missed is a dark moment from. Now, we've loved Kenya for a really long time, and I am empathetic for the pain she is going through because I think she's with a terrible man who is making her suffer.
Oh, my God. I mean, I rewatched last season, and what he did to her at that charity event was horrible.
Beyond the pale. Yeah.
And I think it feeds into past trauma for her. So it's and I feel such love and sympathy and empathy, and I love her. I'm always rooting for her.
And yet.
Yes. And
yet.
This week, when she came for Portia and basically said that, and I'm not saying it word for word, but basically said that, oh yeah, Portia's always there, sort of protesting when a camera is around, like basically trying to say that Portia was. I was furious,
livid,
because Portia has been doing amazing work. Amazing work.
And there should be a camera there. That's what she's doing.
Yes, that's what she's trying to fucking
She's raising
do.
awareness and using her fucking platform in the same way her grandfather did. She's, his legacy is so strong, and it's amazing what she's doing. How many more people are now seeing that this is on Atlanta Housewives, and it's such a focal point this season. And you can just tell her intentions are so fucking pure.
I was just about to say, I don't find it performative in the least. I think it is. She actually seems like I really feel so compelled to do this. I don't have a choice,
Yes.
that she's got to
Completely.
do this, and it's
and
in
she
her
said
blood.
that. She's like, it's kind of taken over right now because that's where she's at. And all the other housewives are so proud of her. Like Candy keeps posting.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, this is amazing. And Kenya, I do believe, and this is so fucked up, but she's jealous.
Of course.
Yes. And I don't know what she's jealous of. It's like, you're welcome to go out there and protest.
No one's stopping you. Yeah.
No, not. And it's different, obviously, but it's that same instinct in her when she tried to ruin Cynthia's proposal. It's that same, like, you are having this beautiful moment. You are doing something, a very different thing. But here's something where you are in the spotlight for something that you are helping do, or this is your day or whatever. And I'm going to downgrade it. I'm going to take it away from you because I can't.
I'm going to try to destroy it even. Like, Kenya has that very, very tough side.
Yeah. And it's such a bad look on her.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Something I'm also finding difficult this season is, what are we doing? Are we wearing a face shield or wearing a mask? What's happening? Where are we? What are you guys doing? What's this choice?
They are playing fast and loose.
What's happening, guys? And I don't and it makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh.
They're all just wearing shields, which it's like, look, from a visual standpoint for me as the viewer, I appreciate. But, from a COVID standpoint, and then to hear Kenya say, like, I'm throwing a huge party next week for Cynthia. I was like, oh, God.
Oh.
What's happening?
Every time even on regular TV now that was like shot months before COVID, or even in old shows that I'm watching, like on, like old episodes of whatever I'm watching, like Seinfeld, I'm like, oh, they're touching.
Well, you know what else?
So terrifying.
And to that point, on the opposite side is, guess what? I don't want to watch anything that's about COVID. I don't want to be reminded of COVID. So by the way, if anyone out there listening to this is like, I am going to do a movie all about, don't do it. Don't do it about COVID. We are still in the middle of it. And I'm currently experiencing PTSD and, ST. I'm not even I'm in the PT. I'm in the SD. I'm in all of it. I'm the A, B, C, D. I got it all. And frankly, I just kind of feel like, look, if you guys are shooting and you're under 6 feet apart and you're testing all the time, what the fuck are you wearing those shields for? It's depressing.
Yeah, they're not helping. Yeah.
No. Just take, either shoot or don't wear. This makes me laugh when you don't know what you're going to get.
We don't know where and it's all over the place. Like, everybody has, some people are hugging, some people won't touch each other. Like,
the best is when Tanya and Portia and Portia's sister in that Range Rover going to that woman's house to do their pool party, and they're in shields, and then they're like, let's take them off. And I was like, God bless.
And then they get in the pool together.
When they're in the car together. When they're driving to a party together.
They had it on for half the time. And I'll say, though, I have never wanted to be anywhere more than in that Range Rover. That feeling of freedom where they're like, oh, we've broken out from this fucking quarantine with our husbands and our kids. And they're like, oh, we're going to a pool party.
Can you imagine being in a car with anybody?
No, with your friends, LA. Just chatting it up?
We can't see one human out here.
No. No, but like legitimately can't see one.
Legitimately not a human. So to see them in that hot tub, I felt vicariously. They were so joyful. I'm like, I cannot wait for that moment.
Oh my God.
Oh, me too. Just to be in a pool.
Now, LaToya, I like LaToya. She's definitely trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And her and Kenya's relationship is really
what is that about? I've never seen Kenya quite like that.
They're attracted to each other.
I don't.
Yeah.
They seem to be. I mean, they're both very attractive women.
Yeah, but she's brought something out in Kenya in a way that I haven't seen ever before with the other ladies on the show. Like, Kenya is, yes, it's interesting.
Yes. I've never seen Kenya like that.
Yeah.
Certainly never around a man.
I like it.
I like LaToya. Now, what do you think about Drew?
Her marriage is...
It's very, very, very upsetting for me. It's very...
He went to Tampa.
It's...
Tampa's not close to Atlanta. I think everyone should know that.
Okay, and again, remember, I am recently divorced, so I have PTF9QHTZ SD.
N95.
N95.
KN95.
I have KN95 SD. He is a terrible husband.
Yeah.
Their marriage is in a very bad place. And she needs to get out of that marriage.
Yeah.
The way he treats her is unacceptable and horrific. And it is bad and wrong.
And she does seem to be trying to communicate and fix and help.
No,
and
there's no life there.
He's like,
yeah, it feels beyond fixing.
No. There is no life there. And you can't have a marriage with a man who talks to you like that and behaves like that. It's over and it's done. And it's not even a marriage. By the way, you don't have to get divorced. You're already in a way divorced. There's no marriage there. That's not a marriage. Okay?
And when any man says, I don't want to be emasculated, my antennas go all the way up. Like, I'm just like, that's not a thing. I mean, it is a thing, but like, that's my antennas just go, oh God, get out, because, yeah. And also, like, anything can be, quote unquote, emasculating to certain people.
It's
like
such a way to like gaslight.
Well, it is the single most gaslighty thing that a man can do, because he will take all of his failures and all of the things that haven't worked out for him in his life and say, well, it's your fault. It's because you've undermined me. And I don't get to take any responsibility for the way that my life has turned out.
It's so misogynistic. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That is a thing.
That is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I, as the kids say, I found it triggering. So I don't like that relationship, and she deserves better, because I find her to be adorable and cute and somebody who deserves much better.
And someone very
Me
sweet.
too. Yeah. And I like her mom too.
I don't know about the mom. I'll leave it there. I don't know where the mom's like intentions totally lie, but I'm sure she's on her daughter's side. That's fine. There's just something about her. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Now, LaToya was quite rough about Drew's wig. That was really, I was like, oh, LaToya is really a straight shooter. When she called her wig Jewisha and said she got it from a beauty supply store. And she said, and then Kenya was like, you have all the hairdressers in the world and that's your wig. And I was like, wow, they really, and it's not great. But wow, I think that we'll be getting back to Drew, and I don't want to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, that will definitely, like, if it doesn't get back to Drew, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Right. It's also like we are in a pandemic, but like we're also on national television, so it's hard. It's hard. I'll see both sides of it.
Can I just say something as a general idea? I really, really like Cynthia. I do. I like her and I root for her, and I want it to go well for her. I recently saw her Iyanla Fix My Life with her sister. And it just really showed me a different side of Cynthia. And I just want her to be happy. I just want everything to go well for her.
I love Mike Hill too. I love him forever. And I know I've said stuff in the past that has been so wrong.
Danielle used to not trust Mike Hill's intentions, Leslie. Mike Hill from the jump.
But do you think this is it, right? Like, this is it.
Yes, this is it.
This is it.
Because did you see that
he is a good
she
man.
is now getting sucked into a lawsuit because of Peter's dumb business choices, and she's getting sucked back into that now. This is new and recent. I just want her to be happy. I find her to be such a stunner, such a model for a woman 50 and over, of like, although it always makes me laugh when people are like, look at these women over 50. And I'm like, you mean people who were professional models who are still insanely gorgeous? Which
I know, but when I see them, I'm like, I can be like that. And it's like, sweetie, you were never like them at your age. And,
ever.
What makes you think you'll be like that then?
I was never that person. So it's like, No, it's going to be great because look how good Christy Brinkley looks. Oh, okay. Well, then it's all going to work out for me as well.
Yeah, Christy Brinkley just got like a new fucking hip, and she's still
She is still fucking at it. I will say I feel the exact same about Cynthia. What is this obsession with getting married on 10-10-20?
Yeah.
Does it mean something mystical I'm not clued in on?
Also, I was when I saw, because, look, I just got through saying how much I love Cynthia, but when I saw on social media all of that wedding stuff, just, in the middle of a pandemic, when I want to tell you.
Mike knew this was a problem. Mike knew.
And I want to tell you, we have all sacrificed. My sweet daughter, my sweet only child who had to have a pandemic bat mitzvah. And let's be honest, it wasn't for her. It was for me. I only had one bat mitzvah to plan and to do.
And she doesn't even get the party.
Guess how many people we had? We had 12 people. And you know who those 12 people were? My mother and my father. And we didn't even hug. We couldn't even touch in the backyard.
But pandemic bat mitzvah is that's a tough.
Let me tell you what everyone said to me, including my own rabbi. What you'll find is they are even more meaningful. No, they're not. I wanted a fucking DJ. I hired a fucking breakdance crew, motherfuckers. I hired a breakdance crew to walk my daughter out.
You wanted your theme, all of it.
Hello. They were going to walk her out and then do a number. And we had to give all that up. Anyway, I'm just like, guys.
I hear you.
Guys, you don't have to have
cool.
No, it's not cool.
You can wait.
You can wait.
If she can wait on her bat mitzvah, you can wait on your third fucking wedding.
Can we still have a party, Leslie? Is that still on the table?
I think what's going to end up happening is for her year, I think you're going to see a lot of sweet 16s. I think you're going to see kids who didn't have the bat mitzvahs they wanted, and they're going to now have a big sweet 16.
Okay.
So that's what I think is in our future. I'm already planning it in my head already.
Okay. Let's put a pin in those breakdancers.
Yeah. Keep stretching.
As a person who just celebrated their birthday cloistered in my house with my husband and my child, I plan on hiring those breakdancers as well.
And by the way, I just want to say, and I know this is not a podcast about the quarantine, but I was a person who was like, no, I'm happy to stay home. I don't need to go to a party ever again. I've been to enough parties. I am ready to fucking party. Okay?
Yep.
I want to get out. I want to, guess what? If I see someone from high school that I have avoided for the last 30 years, if I see them, I'll be like, I will wave them down and be like, tell me everything. I just want to talk to a different person. I'm excited to get out there, ladies.
If I was to be invited to your daughter's Sweet 16, I would be so drunk and embarrass myself and inappropriate the dance floor. Like, I want to be that person now everywhere, which I've been a bit in my past, but it's roaring back.
You are invited, and we are going to party.
Thank you. I will bring an energy and a spirit to the party.
And I'm going to bring some more moves for those breakdances.
Yes.
Join the circle a la Whitney.
So I think I also think when adult women, particularly on their third marriages, get really obsessed with the part. What are you doing? That's tough for me. Even though I do love Cynthia, that is tough for me, but it's also a reality television show and they have a party for everything.
And we are on number 3. And I hate to say that, I'm not saying she still doesn't deserve a beautiful party, but that coupled with the fact that we are in a pandemic, it's like you're not getting 250 people. And Bravo bowed out of the filming. They said, we're not doing this because it is not safe. And Cynthia luckily had her own camera crew inside. So we did get footage.
Yeah. Look, we have always said our women are complicated. We don't love everything they do. We can love them and hate things that they do or not. Like, they're all complicated. Not one of them is simple. So this
couple of them are
to that
simple,
fact
but
as well.
Thank you, Danielle. Well, I think, you know what? We might cover Dallas next week unless you would like to just say anything burning.
Anything quick about Dallas you just want to say quick?
I really like the new housewife. Very, very much.
She's a doctor and setting these weird Texas women straight about fucking COVID, which
1,000%. I love her.
God love her.
And I've turned the corner with Cam, and now I like her. And now I think she's funny.
I like Cam.
And I didn't before. And now I really like her. I think she's smarter than she lets on. I think she's funny, and I'm into her. Okay? Those are my takes.
Thank you. All right.
I agree.
I love you. You know what this was? A salve. A balm.
Much like, again, like Shane.
Yes.
In our lives.
I'm telling
like
you.
He's always been.
I'm telling you. Anyway, thank you, ladies.
We love you, Leslie, and look onward, and we hope there's light in all of our lives coming.
And though I think you were taken off of Instagram today for some political
Can you
posts,
imagine?
I think you're back.
Wait, you guys, this was
you were banned just like President Trump.
You don't understand. This was the best thing that ever happened to me, that I got banned for being a middle-aged political agitator. And it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It really, really was. Because now I'm I feel like I'm young again. Made me feel young again.
Yes.
I
It feels
loved
good. It feels good.
Yes.
It's a good look on you.
Great.
It's a good look on
Thanks,
you.
ladies.
Really good. Thank you, Leslie.
Love you.
Mwah.
Thank you, Leslie.
Wow. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you, Danielle.